Perfect. Perfect. What's up, everybody? I'm going to do what I've been working on a little bit today, and I'm going to show you guys, or continue to show you guys, what it is like to build a map in BeamNG Drive. And I've got a lot of questions about it in terms of, what kind of game is this? What do I need to play it? All that kind of fun stuff. So this BeamNG Drive is available on the platform for computer, pretty much only, and it's available through the platform Steam. If you're not familiar, Steam is just like the app store for computers. So really cool to have this game. It does take quite a computer to run it. So if you're on the fence, don't have like a decent computer or whatever it may be, you'll need something kind of nice to get this game running. So what we're going to do is I'm going to load up the map that I've been working on. This map has not been released to anyone yet. This has just been for me personally. I will release this to the repo. Oh, awesome. I will release this to the repository sooner rather than later, and we'll go from there. But fun game, lots of mods for it, and we're going to get us going. If you're not watching on YouTube, if you're not following, subscribe there. It really helps out if you guys are. We're trying to pump the YouTube numbers. Been doing a lot of live streams. I'm going to cut some videos out of the live streams we've been doing, so good stuff there. But thank you guys for joining us, no doubt. I'm only going to be on for 45 minutes or so, an hour or so, so we're going to see how much work we can get done. I've got my, I found this today. It's Dr. K 0 calorie, which, might as well drink like a 0 calorie Dr. Pepper, but I don't know if you guys have tried Diet Dr. Pepper. It's kind of scuffed. It's not good. It just tastes like salt. So Dr. K tastes way better. Just a known fact. Just is how it is. But it's good to have everybody here, and it's good to get started. If my map will load here, so sorry about that. So I use a software called GitHub to actually store my maps over time. I can hear that it sounds like the car is loaded, but I use GitHub to do version control, and basically what version control is basically as I continue to build the map, the files change. So every single time I update the files, I want to have the latest version. So I keep it stored in the cloud so that everything is nice and neat there. I do love this truck. This is a really good trail truck, but I'll show you guys what I was working on yesterday. I'm not sure if it all was live streamed or whatnot, but I went through, added some scenery, added some trees and whatnot, added some different kind of climbs here into this Utah trail that I was building. I got a real tough exit on this trail now, and I was actually going to run it because I have not put a car through it yet. So let me just jump in my old trusty trail car. I've got the steering wheel set up, all that kind of fun stuff. Still need to get the textures squared away for this car that I've got here, for this modifications that I did for it, but it's cool. Gonna air everything down just a little bit to make my life a little easier here. Today's stream, as always, is brought to you by Super Grip ATV Tires, RCV Performance, all things UTV, Diddy's Big Block Race Shop, and also Infinite Off-Road. So thank you to those guys for making everything that we do here at the show possible. Super glad to have those guys on board. I actually have a lot of videos coming out soon. I've got to tear my machine down. I've got to get some arms from Essentially Off-Road and go through the whole machine stuff. So be on the lookout for that stuff on YouTube. So this is actually one of the climbs that I built, and I thought it was actually going to give me there. I was like, it should be giving me just a little bit more trouble than being able to walk it. It's not too bad. But I figured, so I added in some more rocks, things like that, like this upper rock that we're kind of sliding on right now, added it in. I figured it would give us a little more issue. So that's why I haven't tried it yet. What's up, Z-Mitch, man? It's good to see you again. And like I said, I'm actually planning on releasing this map. I actually also, I think Z-Mitch, you were in here the other day, and I'm actually going to try and get a working version of my bouncer this week so we can get some of that out. And then, once I get everything squared away and working the way I want to on that truck, I'll release that one as well. I'm not super concerned about the truck being perfect or anything like that, or any kind of super high-end focus on it. I just enjoy the game, man. I just enjoy working on this stuff, enjoy making mods. I'm just getting into the mod making stuff, and man, it's been so much fun to get it. Now I'm bouncing around here quite a bit, so I'm actually going to air down. These buggies have an inflation system built into them, and it'll take me all the way down to 3 psi. So now that all the air is out, we're all locked up, I'm thinking I should be able to, like I said, like a glove, baby, I should be able to kind of walk this stuff up here. Now I have learned too that with these, there we go. So that's a pretty tight turn. Curious how that'll turn out for the other vehicles. Having a rear steer on this machine makes a world of difference. So Z-Mitch says, Z-Mitch, I'm just gonna call you Mitch from now on. Glad to have you in, man. You're becoming a regular, so I'm gonna treat you like a regular. Mitch said, I had high hopes for Overpass and wasn't a fan. This game and mod looks amazing. Yeah, man, I actually didn't try Overpass because just seeing the gameplay trailer footage, I just knew I was going to be disappointed. It just didn't seem like you had the freedom. It didn't seem like the physics were right. I just wasn't feeling it. So I actually never played Overpass. But I thought about building a UTV for this game too. Thought about building a little Razor, whatnot, but we'll see. You never can tell exactly how things are going to go, and I've really enjoyed building this machine here. So, or not particularly this machine. I modded this machine, but I'm starting from the ground up on my bouncer. So I think that it'll be all right. We'll see how that goes. But I tried to make this trail pretty challenging. I'm really excited to show you guys the East Coast Trail that I started building earlier today that we're going to work on tonight. Mitch said, I've had the best of both worlds, crawlers, and in a Razor now I'm building another 1-ton XJ. Dude, I saw one of my, a guy I know named Cody is actually building the 1-ton WJ, I think it is. And dude, it made me really reconsider building a full-size vehicle. So I may have to get into the full-size stuff again. But yeah, man, it's so funny how they're all different. You get in a Jeep and it's its own, its own way to ride the trails, its own way to drive it, and then you get into a UTV and it's its own, style of driving. Everything's really different. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But like I said, I built this trail the other night, and it's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So let me ditch this guy. Show you guys what I was working on earlier today. So earlier I found that out here there's a little trail section that kind of comes down into this little lake area, and it's really, really narrow. It's real narrow through here. But what I started doing was started building out a climb right here. I'm actually going to build out a climb right there, and probably a real high horsepower climb right there. But what I've been working on is this like V-notch style, like long crevice, and it's all going to be mud, and it's going to be pretty cool. And there's actually going to be a chicken trail to the side of it, so I'm excited about that. But this is part of the East Coast. I'll show you guys my map overhead. There's East Coast stuff over here. I actually have a desert section that I'm not like real good at building desert stuff yet. I'm still kind of getting my feet wet. But desert stuff, obviously I've got my Utah section, and then a little bit of East Coast stuff over here. I haven't really decided what I want to do with all this open pasture, but this has been my East Coast trails so far, and they've been a ton of fun, man. A nice bounty hill right there. It kind of comes out into the river, makes a little loop, and all kinds of like really good climbs, and they're tough. That's the big thing, is like they're super tough. So nice little stair steppers, like a Cable Hill kind of knockoff type climb here. And I could go back and make it all stone, but we'll see. And then I have like a little playground section here too. So a lot of cool stuff in the works, and I've got a lot, this is a big map. So if I want to continue building, I definitely feel like I do. I've got plenty of room to expand, and I think whenever I release this map, I'm really going to try and have a lot of this like fleshed out. I'm gonna keep the city the same. I'm not real crazy about the city stuff, like it's all cool. If you want to do some RP or whatever, that's fine, but I'm really trying to make these trails really something special. I was actually going to try and climb this in my standard truck, but a few things I need to do first. I need to kind of pull the ground up here a little bit. The ground is actually just a little too deep right there, so I was going to do that. Thank you for the like, man. Appreciate that big time. So we're gonna drop my regular trail truck in here and see what we can do in terms of climbing it, because it's really easy to build a map for like a 44 or like a 50-inch tall 43, whatever, huge tire. But this truck has 37s on it, and I try to build maps for the smaller tires, so that way when you run a bigger tire, you can just do it faster, right? You can, there's optional lines for the big tires, but most of the courses on my maps are built for small tires. I actually show you one more thing before I get started here, is I also built another climb out here on the Moab side. I started to work on like texturing and putting some trees back in on this Moab side. So I put some trees, some dead forest up there, and I know Moab like doesn't really have I'll show you the other tires in a second there, Mitch. I know Moab doesn't really have like junipers and things like that, but I wanted a little flavor, so added in a little section here that's kind of different vibe to the hills that I have been building. Bigger rocks, different stuff. So it's been cool to mess with that, kind of fill in some of the dead space here. So if I go back here, so I've got 37-inch Pitbull rockers. Look, I'm not a huge fan of those tires for one reason. The guy that owns that company is nuts. So what I'll actually do is I'll put some TSLs on here for you, because I agree with you. They need it. So we'll put some 38 SX on here. I'll zoom in so you guys can see all this stuff too. Awesome. So we'll update this as this car right here. Awesome. Yeah, the dude that owns Pitbull's insane. He like lost his mind on Facebook, and it was kind of comical to watch him like kind of fall apart, which I'm sure he's a nice guy. I'm sure he is, but he went nuts on Facebook. But these tires are done by Nick's 909. He did a brilliant job, man. What a talented guy. Okay, so let's see if we can get up this And like I said, if you guys are enjoying this stuff, share it out, man. It helps, getting this stuff in front of more people. It helps way more than you guys know. So the issue has been, I know the camera's kind of scuffed, but that first lip right there, like this first lip is actually pretty rough, and it's kind of undercut. So that's been a little hard, and I've tried to build like the wall where you can kind of like side hop it, but we'll see how this works out. This is definitely not my my most friendly like streaming map, because the camera gets all kinds of messed up whenever it's trying to go through this valley with the tight walls and stuff. Helps when I don't drive into a rock. Yeah, I found out today that good old Hell Mountain had they're closed now, so I hate to see it for sure. Cool. There we go. So it looks like my frame just got caught there. And again, when you're building maps in this game, you really have to be patient and kind of figure out if your frame grabs or what have you, it can cause node issues and stuff. So you really got to put a lot of thought into building this stuff. It looks like something's going on with the truck. So let's go ahead and reset the truck here. Because sometimes the way these tires work is they'll grab a certain way and it just won't. It'll kind of hold on to the terrain. You see there's a little bit of clipping there with the rocker and the actual rock face. So I may look into that, but it looks like with 38s, I'm not sure that this is going to be a super friendly climb. So try this. Now I'm gonna try something. I'm running the long arms on this. I'm actually gonna try and run some short links and see if that helps out a little bit. Just a little trial, try and see how it goes. And if I sit here and I just bang my head against this for forever, I'll add another rock in here and just kind of help get you past this point, because it's not something that you want to you're playing a game for fun, right? You don't want to sit here and just bang your head against something and not have a good time trying to do it. So actually, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this rock here and I'm going to tilt it just ever so slightly where it's still got a nice little edge, and you know what, I'll even pull it up just a little bit. And I think that'll make it a little easier. But what I'll do here is I'll actually get in here and I'm going to, we'll just drop something in that's a nice little tire grabber. Make it a little harder, Can't make it super easy. Now, I will tell you, when you're making these maps and you adjust a rock size to go up in size, what you have to do is you have to switch the collision on the rock to visible mesh rather than what is set to collide. Because when you expand it, the actual mesh doesn't grow. So you have to go based off what's visible on the item. So I'm happy we're still, we're still getting hung up here. I'm curious to know why we're getting hung up so bad, though. There we go. There we go. think I'm just being a bad driver. Okay, so when you're building maps, it's kind of, you have to realize, like, I like to use mud and stuff like that and try and figure out, you know, how can I make it harder without making it punishing. If you see here, it's throwing you into that wall automatically. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm actually going to go to the terrain tools, I'm going to make it real small, and I'm actually going to flatten this out just a little. Flatten it out and flatten it out. And I'm going to make one side of this kind of, I don't know the right word, almost like a stair step, but not really like a stair step. Just kind of make it have some grab to it. Now what I'm doing here is I've used the slope tool, and I'm just going to casually kind of slope that out, smooth it out a little bit. Now I think I'm going to have to bring it all down just a touch, because what it ended up doing actually there was just making my slope like throw me into that wall harder. So I'm going to grab this entire section here. I'm just going to scoot it down a little bit, and now we can flatten it out over here, maybe down here a little bit, and let's see how that makes it feel, if it's any worse or better, because it should have given us just a little bit more room. Maybe I can bring all this down just a touch. That's better. So let's have a look here, because I think I'm gonna have some floating rocks. Yeah, I have some floaters there. So we'll go here, go to our forest tools, and we're gonna see if we can snap all this stuff to the terrain. And I don't think that tool works the way I want it to. So what I'm actually going to do is just grab my eraser, and all of these floating rocks up here, these would probably be fine, because I'll probably come back and, like, you know, make an adjustment to the terrain, because obviously I don't want to just have like a big hole sitting there. But I would prefer to replace some of these rocks rather than, you know, kind of like conform the ground to try and make them work. So I'll just go ahead and take some of this stuff out. So I think for the most part, no more floating rocks, which is good with me. Go back to our terrain, go to the really smooth tool. We'll just kind of smooth the ground out up here, kind of make it look a little neater. Get back down in the valley here. I am going to flatten this section out down here and kind of give us a little bit of like a step stool kind of feel to it. All that. So if you see, when I flattened all that stuff out, I actually ended up losing a little bit of that rock face down there. So making these maps and making these terrains, it's not trivial at all. You really have to kind of have an idea of what you want to do from the get-go, and it's not always my strong suit rather. And it looks like we kind of ended up in the same spot we were in, so I am going to actually pull some of this down just a little more, kind of see how it feels. Grab our tool here, and I think these cliff edges, I should just be able to kind of, oh wait, not that way. So I'm going to undo that, and I'm going to kind of recess this back into the wall just a little bit more. And then like these floating rocks, I'll just go ahead and delete that. Have a few more floating rocks, I think. Yeah, it'll probably be. Selected too much there. It's kind of frozen on me a little bit. That one, and then I think we should be fairly okay. Now this is going to be a bear of a climb, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm going to step back just a little bit. So this is right after you get to the top of our rock section here, which I think I made much harder. I'll have to go back. Actually, let's just go ahead and start from the bottom. Let's see, because I did make a pretty good change there. That feels better. You know, not as punishing when you don't make it. Okay. Put it in first gear high. It's good. I'm actually gonna put the. I have to bust out some NOS here. See if that'll get us up this little ledge. Okay, so having issues kind of just like squaring up with the ground, and I know that's super annoying. I'll cancel that out in a second. So I just smoothed the curve right there where it was like a decent drop off, and we'll pull this up so we can get out of the collision. Okay, still wanted it to be pretty slick right there though. Oh no. Like I said, you want to make it challenging without punishing. I think that frame back there just does not like that rock, so I may have to make that lip just a little less again. Let's do this. Let's bring that lip up just a little bit more, all the way around. And then what we're going to do is we're actually going to add a little bit like a shelf in here, so there's something for the tires to kind of hook onto, like that. And then what we'll do is we'll actually smooth that slope out just a little. Smooth the top of this so it's a less of like a body hanger and more of like a, once you kind of get over the top, it'll kind of grab a little more. And we're gonna hit the terrain painter. We're gonna find the rock, and we're actually gonna dump in some rock here. Give us just a little boost while we're trying to get up there. Dump some rock in up there too. See if we can't help ourselves out, because it's gonna be pretty slick right here for sure. And that was first gear high, so it's gonna be good. Okay, let's try this. Forgot to add some music. What's up, Dustin? How are you, buddy? Just working on some of the new trails. Dustin says, doing good, man. Just finished working on some RC cars, getting them prepped and ready for the next weekend. Yeah, man, you've got a race coming up, man. That sounds like a blast. I wish they had races near me. I'd love to get in there and not pay a fortune to have to race. That's one thing about the NRA that was kind of crazy is like the entry fees were kind of nuts. Like I was like working there, didn't want to have to pay. It's like $50, man, to enter a race for RC cars. Dustin says, just a trail riding weekend. My next race isn't until October. I enjoy hiking and trailing way more. Dude, I feel you. My SCX 10-2 is my favorite car I've got right now. Dude, this cliff wall is so punishing. Kind of makes me mad. Let's see if I can shallow this wall up just a little bit. That's not the way I wanted that to work. Maybe that's better. Let's see. Dustin says, I broke the chassis plate on my new IFS buggy. Ooh. Trying to find a source for hardened aluminum. Reach out to Justin Hoback. Those skids that he was making, he had a guy, like, machine them up for him, but they're pretty good. I live like 20 minutes away from Justin, too. Good resource to have. I think this climb is like just straight up too punishing. It's like it's rough. I either need to add in some like rock faces here, which I think I'm probably gonna do something different. This may be a climb that you just need to do in like a mega horsepower buggy. It may just be how it's going to turn out. It's not my favorite way to do this for sure, but it's part of it. Dustin says horsepower fixes a lot of things. Yes, it does. I'm pretty pleased with this, to be honest with you. Gotta figure out what I want to do up there. But let's get out the big horsepower buggy and see if it's like just super easy or if it's like mediocre or what.
Nobody should have to pay for one-size-fits-all insurance coverage. Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance.
Liberty Mutual, y'all. Unpaid advertisement. Oh, let's see.
I'm Serena Williams. You watch me live on TV. So
Wow. I like Apple Music. That's what I use, and seems like probably should pull music from there, but they don't have like a good web interface. Anyways, I'll get us some music in a minute. Airing down helps quite a bit with these tires in particular. Alright, Dustin, I'll let you know. I'm not going to be on for too much longer. I'm actually going to go upstairs here in just a minute. I got to go get the kids in bed and stuff. Yeah, it is what it is, man. I don't know. We'll see. I may be on a little later. I'll let you know. It would be cool if I could climb this. I don't think that's the line. I do like that you can kind of bounce the first part, but it kind of throws you in this part. Ooh, buddy. Let's see here. We're going to actually bring this whole top section down just a little bit. And we'll bring this down just a click. Give you kind of a nicer exit out of here. Bring it down here. We'll grab this tree and scoot it over. Get this tree over here. This guy can actually stay right there. And then for these rocks, we'll just erase these rocks because they suck. And then we'll paint, go to dirt to grass, we'll paint some of that up here as the exit point. Then we'll bring in some dirt right here. And then we'll bring in a little bit of forest right there. A little bit of rocky dirt, and then we're gonna make this like regular mud up there, a little less pressure, and we'll make this like regular mud right here, kind of like fades in here. Yeah, Mitch, you're gonna love this game, dude. It's the best, without a doubt. Gonna try and let that roll me back just a little bit because I'm not in the best spot in the world here. And we'll just try and kind of crab walk it over. I think I need the trusty MTRs. Man, the guy that built the MTRs is awesome. He the difference between all these other tires and the MTRs is they're built on an updated version of the tires that came out in the most recent patch. So they are like a little stronger when it comes to like the basis, like in my opinion, like the code, nothing to do with the actual tire design. And they do hook pretty good. But these tires in particular, these USDs, they have like a really, really, really tough sidewall, and it's coded in the file that they're a super tough sidewall. So like that's 3 pounds, and you're getting no bulge on this, which is, I don't know if it like greatly affects it in the game or not, but you'd have to think it probably does. Okay, we'll give this one more try. And in my opinion, it's pretty cool to have like a trail that's like actually hard in the game. So. Dude, I just straight up getting denied. Well, I think I just probably suck at driving, so that's probably half of it. So I'm actually going to just gonna jump over here and climb out the top of this this other section here. Show you guys another vehicle that I've been toying around with a little bit. This is a good one. Only thing with this car is it's really, really, really wide. And the rear engine makes a huge, huge difference in this game. Like it actually cannot climb this. It's kind of funny. So anyways, we'll leave this for now. I'm gonna do one loop in my fast car, and then I'm gonna call it a night, guys. Terrible driver, what can I say? Alright, try one more thing real quick before we get out of here. Because that was actually not the car I wanted to try. This is the car I wanted to try. This is a good one. 1000% all over the place, all over the time. Hey, thanks for the follow, man. I really appreciate that. Makes a huge difference. Curlon13, thank you, man. So should smooth that lip out, that's for sure. So that is not how that is supposed to be. There we go, fix that. I'm doing pretty good, man. About yourself? I actually got to change this because I don't think it's got a front differential. We'll do that. Beautiful. Okay. Car turned off on me. Beautiful. Yo, I'm like really struggling tonight. I could just blame it on this car and say that it doesn't work the way I want it to. What's wrong with me? I can't drive. I just can't drive. Straight up. It just is what it is. Alright, let's go. I keep changing the car like it's the car's fault. So we'll try one more. We'll just do this original one. Yeah, Dustin, listen. I really like the game. I'm not a good driver. It's just how it is. You know, to be the best, you don't have to be the best. Telling y'all, not a professional. The tree did not hit me this time though. Just sounds like some CVT that's like belt squealing to death. also added in some climbs like right next to this too. In fact, we'll hit those real quick. Nice. Alright, y'all. I still have the starting real soon up. That's nice. Alright, guys. I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to go get some rest and hopefully have some work done this week. And I don't know how much I'm going to stream this week. I may stream, I like pretty much for sure stream on Wednesday. So Wednesday night, come hang out and we'll be back. It'll be a lot of fun. Okay? Until then. Peace.